But the Bath 10 was a great place that time on a Sunday evening. Half cash in the to be over drinking it and that, you know. But one Sunday evening, they used to tell about Josie when he'd be tapping a barrel. He used to talk out like John West, overalls and oilskins and all that, with forth all over the place. But I know on Sunday evening, he was doing it anyway, and he was up to tap a new barrel anyway, and that's the barrels were timber. You'd often get what they called the casky one, and there'd be an out taste of the porter, you know. But anyway, this fella said to Josie, got a pint and Josie said, I'm afraid that porter isn't right, there's no casky taste of it, you know. Is that so, Josie said? He said, you're lucky enough, he said, you only have a pint of it, I have a full barrel of it.
Coming back, the weather was bad.
Come back from the event, the weather was fierce bad anyway. And Jim Ryan, the order machine, was in charge in Castlebar, the airport. And we were coming in anyway, the next day he came on the blower anyway, and I was sitting beside the pilot again. And all I could hear was, you better come in fairly quick, he said, there's a big shower coming up over Island 80. And sure enough, that's me had to come out as far as the ball alley, over Cosgrave's garage, come in there to land. And we landed all right, but we were sitting in the airplane for 10 minutes waiting for this big shower, and sure enough, this was something else, all right.
Actually, I did that same day, a plane crashed down in...
that's right, yeah.
Down in the Wicklow Mountains or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had come back ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I heard about this plane crashing and I thought, the sweat came out of me.
I bet you did. I bet you did, yeah. But yeah, that was tough enough, I'll tell you. You know. Yeah, no, later with all that, I went into Josie and sat down story, and I said, I've been in an awful bad way, he said. My brother died last week, he said. Oh, did he, Joe said, did you bury him? We were down in Ballina the other day and playing rugby anyway, and the match was over anyway, and we were in the downhill, and the other version of Bridge of Big myself, we were walking around outside after anyway, and this old cat was stiffing as a care, you know, and I said, how I saw that, I said, there's an old salmon in it. Put up down boot and it was only 5 salmon in it. We weren't greedy, we only took the one and it was a nice one, about 12 pound. And we shoved into the Patch Stanton. Miles' brother was playing the same day, and we pushed into his car in Volkswagen under the front seat. So the next day, we went in again to the downhill. Our Patch was coming out, and Mark Malone, they were going home. So we'd sit in and with you anyway, you know. So of course Mark had to get the front seat anyway, and going home, and Mark, I smell of fish and so forth, you know. But I had my hand out fish under the seat anyway, so they will be all right. So we got to Angel's Park anyway. The Arthur Basher and Brendan, I said, we'll win here to your house and I'll get a knife. We got a knife anyway. Nice little cut and the bottom end and nice on the top, and I had 3 or 4 pounds of middle cut now, so you get it whichever one you want. I said, I've gotten this.
you got the best cut.
I had the middle cut.
You had the best cut. John West.
The best of the best.
Yes, the best.
One of the funniest things I ever remember, and he's a great friend of mine, Paddy Conway from Ballina, when he's in his throne. And we were playing Ballina one Sunday down here anyway, and line out anyway. He was playing scrum half. And the ball broke and it was anyway, I was on top one first anyway, and next to I suppose 5 or 6 more tops. The whistle went anyway, so we got up one at a time anyway, and then he got up and shook himself and he looked at me. He said, I don't mind you tacting me, he said, but for fuck's sake don't fall on me again.
What weight you then?
I was 18 stone raising there, and he was funny.
What weight was he?
He was, I suppose he'd be about 12 at the time, 10 or 12 stone. He was only small fella. We still great friends. I think we were the only 2 pioneers in Connacht playing rugby at that time. That's a long, long time ago now.
Who were the big characters around town in your time?
When I was a gaffer, I suppose Bellum McNally now was a great old handballer and footballer, and Block, his brother, and he did name he was the goalkeeper. And my father used to play soccer with them in times, and I heard them a couple of good stories about them long ago. And Tom Welsh, Blouser and James says, was a referee one day, and they were playing football. It was against Sligo, and there was a penalty, was it? There was a penalty given anyway, and Block saved the penalty anyway, and Blouser went in and shook hands with him. That's very impartial as a referee.
Tell you, your father was a bit of a legend around town. They used to call him Stuff.
That's right.
How did that come around?
Well, I suppose, I don't know whether it was Irish or Stuff on, or whether a lot of people used to call him, I should say he was a great bit of Stuff. He was a good soccer player, I think, at his time. He played for Westport all his life and played a few times for Connacht, I think, in them days.
And was it all soccer he played?
he played Gaelic in his time and he played rugby, but not a lot of rugby. He broke his collarbone once in playing rugby, and I think that put him off the rugby.
That ended his career.
That ended his career, is right, yeah.
He was a keen fisherman.
He was a very keen fisherman, yeah. So for John McKinnon, Arderson, two of them, they were never missed a Sunday or a Wednesday after Loch Mask, and sometimes the Loch Cara, the Dead Sea, you used to call it. They used to like to bring down their sandwiches with them, and they'd make the tea up there, boil the kettle to make the tea. But John McKinnon always said he'd sooner go without the rods than the kettle. When they go out fishing, they come back in on Sunday nights and it'd be dark at night, and my mother and worrying about them, whether dead or alive, and he'd ask how they got on. When you heard John McKinnon saying Sunday, you knew there was no fish caught.
He liked a little flutter on the horse, I think.
He did, yeah. He always backed a few horses all his life, yeah. Yeah, always. But he never went too hard of them, like.
Yeah.
He's happy enough for a couple of bob here and there.
No, he told me he kept a book. He balanced the accounts every year.
He balanced the accounts every year. But he always maintained, if you want to give them up, that's the thing to do. He said, if you kept the book, you'll sure give them up all right. But he never did much here with them now.
But he said you never get rich in them, he said.
No, you never make money at them, no.
Oh, well, he enjoyed it anyway, didn't
he? He enjoyed it, right, yeah, indeed. And there was a fella singing in one night, and he was a great singer. And he finished, and he said to me, I don't blame you at all, he said, but show me the who the rest of the sing.